Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Homemade Broadcast. It is December 5th, 2023. My name is Will Kuntz. Welcome back to the program. Today, I am drinking carbonated water from an undisclosed brand. And I just showed it to you by accident. Yeah, I just got back from Key West yesterday, and that's a fun place to be. It's they don't consider themselves to be part of the United States. It's a bunch of old gay pirates that live there, and they like to have fun, and I like to have fun, whatever that means to you. To me, it means just getting drunk early in the morning and walking around a boardwalk for 4 days straight, which is pretty much what I did. What else did I do? Butterfly Museum, which was awesome. Bunch of nice little butterflies in there. Hot as hell. Hot as all hell in December. Muggy, warm, just sweating. I brought, I'm one of those people who thinks that they're going to crap their pants every time they go out of town. So you pack way extra underwear. It's like a meme, right? Like you pack, like, what if I crap my pants? I'm going to need, 15 pairs of underwear just in case. I packed double the amount of underwear that I would need, and I still almost ran out because I was just like sweating, showering, sweating, getting in a pool, showering, sweating more. It was a very muggy time. I don't remember if this is my third year in a row going at this time, and I don't remember it being this warm last year, but it may have been. But good time, good times all around. It was nice to have a little break, a nice little vacation after, what happened. That's what this video is about here today. I said I would make a video about it, talk to you about it. I don't know what more light I can kind of shed on it. I feel like it's pretty out in the open now. I did quit the Johnny B show, unfortunately. In my opinion, my hand was a little forced, but there was a something that I needed, and Johnny was unable to give it, so I quit. I mean, it's pretty simple. I think that, in my opinion, that there was, management didn't seem that interested in assisting me with this. They basically, what I heard was, get your point, we get his point. So I said, do you want me to talk to him? Because I'll do that. And then it seemed like, yeah, you just go ahead and do it. Okay, well, I wish I would have known this months ago, because I would have just done it months ago. But it's kind of good to happen now. Like, it's the holidays, it's a holly jolly time. The Lightning are playing. There's lots of breaks. As I said, this is something that's been, on my mind for many months now. And the rationale behind the name change was I just wanted my name tacked on. So I wanted to be Johnny B and Will, or some variation of that. Why did I want that? Well, I think that Johnny's been very upfront about this as well on air. I do 90% of the work on that show, or did, from the prep to the back end production to co-hosting to hosting 2 or 3 times a week when he was out of town. And I was always very understanding about that. I said, don't worry about it, don't sweat it, man. I totally get it. He had to go out and make money, and right now his way of doing that solely outside of radio is doing stand-up comedy. So if you can make a couple $100 doing a comedy show at night, and you can make $20 here after taxes with what we're paid for the radio, yeah, it's a no-brainer. You should do that. And I was always really understanding about that. However, over time you go, okay, well, what are we doing here? It's called this title, but for all intents and purposes here, outside of the name change, it's been Johnny and Will for a long time. Johnny, when I first started with him, he was gracious enough to give me a Wednesday night. I heard him say that he was the only reason I was in radio. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. Who knows what would have happened? That's one of those, unknowable questions. He was the first person to give me a chance, and it was the right move on his end. I was smart of him to do that. And, I kind of took the ball and ran with it, from starting on Wednesdays to learning how to do everything that needed to be done on the show. There was a time that Ryan Adams was there, Anna Hummel was there. I was a associate producer. There was like a budget. It was the Johnny B show with a crew. And Ryan got a job selling cars and found it difficult to be there. Wasn't there 2 or 3 nights a week. Does this sound familiar? And I kind of just was there and I was available, and I got hired for that job. Johnny, sent Ryan off, and I think Ryan understood that's where he was at now too. And um, so then it was Johnny, Anna, and myself. Still the Johnny B show though. And Anna had her deal happen with tweeting shortly after that. I don't know how long exactly it was, a year or something. And then so it was Johnny and I. And nobody was hired in her stead. It was kind of just those duties were thrown on me. So now I'm co-hosting, producing, and on the Johnny B show, which is great. That's what I wanted, really. And I think we did a great job. We did good work there. Now, I don't really. It's still fresh. Obviously, I want Johnny to do well, and I appreciate the opportunity that Johnny has given me. I think it was a bad move on his end. I think he's going to be kicking himself for it in the next few months because of all the work that I did on that show. Up until very recently, he didn't know how to do our automation. I had to teach him how to do that. I was like, I gotta have him do something here, man. This is crazy. So I wanted to kind of share duties here at the very least if things weren't going to happen. I have to be careful with what I say, but I talk to people in the industry, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't asking for too much because I know it's a big ask. I know Johnny's a prideful dude, and his name means something to him. I know, and the brand means something to him. And I asked people, I asked around if this was too much to ask, and the ones that I talked to said no. So I kind of felt better about asking. And I know it seemed to be a little ticked off with the ultimatum side of that story, of that equation, but how else would it get done? It's quite clear it wasn't going to be offered to me. And I don't understand the being mad at the ultimatum thing. I don't know. And then I put a time limit on it too. Yeah, I asked weeks ago, and then he just avoided it like the plague. And then I said, hey, I would like to know, after many weeks of this, what your answer is. And then I finally got my answer. So I know that was a crawl on his side there too. I don't really understand that. And as far as this being my decision, kinda. I'll take 51% of the my decision to walk away thing, but very easily could have went the other way if this thing just got done. So I'm still sick too, so I'm about to cough. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. At this lingering cold. It's been like 3 weeks now. So as far as being my decision, kinda, but I just wasn't happy in my current role and my current title, and I wasn't making, I'm not making money. It's not like I have a bunch of endorsements or something where I can be like, well, okay, I don't have the prestige factor here, but at least I'm making money. I'm not making any money, and I don't have anything to show for the work that I do. And it's not something that it's pretty common that this happens, right? I mean, there's many examples of shows being named one thing, something changes, and the show is renamed. Off the top of my head, Opie and Anthony, I'm thinking of. That was the Opie show. Anthony Cumia came in a few nights a week. Then all of a sudden he's there 5 nights a week. He's a valuable addition to the show. They end up calling it the Opie and Anthony show. Locally here, I'm thinking of Pat Donovan, the Pat Donovan show at WDAE. He started working with Aaron Jacobson. Pat, to my knowledge, said your name should be on the show and offered that to him. So there's just different, avenues to go with that. Roger and JP, If it's a duo like that where it's just me and him, many instances of this happening, and so it's not like it's something that's unusual, and things change. And I kind of got the vibe that he's like, well, I gave you your start, so you need to just stay where you're at. That's not how things work either. Things progress, they grow, whatever. um like I said, I'm a little bitter about it still, so I don't want to be too emotional about it, so I didn't want to do a video about it right away. But I mean, I guess that's it, right? I asked for this thing. Johnny had it in his power to say no. And, if he would have said yes, he would have been bitter and angry about it. So, okay, like I get it. It couldn't do it. It's a shame. I think it's a bad move for him personally. Right now we're in the breaks with lightning hockey and now the holidays. So we're not going to be on air much anyways. But I think when things are back to 5 days a week, I think he's going to be kicking himself just with the work. I know what work needs to go into putting on that show every night. And I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying he didn't do it. So, and the responses were, oh, you're just so good at it. I don't, for prep and stuff, he would just be like, oh, you just do it. So I mean, it's so good. Okay, well, not going to have that anymore. Not going to have the, what are we doing now, Will thing where we come back from break and I don't have anything pulled up and he's asking me what we're doing, the host of the show. That's happened many times. In fact, it happened our last show together with Jeff Klein there. And I called him out for it and I said, this looks really bad when we do this. But again, it's just one of those things. It just didn't work out. And I was willing to continue on with the stress of putting on a nightly show essentially by myself outside of the hosting, which, again, like I said, fair amount of times. And if you're a listener, I know you've heard it too. What are we doing now, Will? Would happen very often. And that's not what a host of a show does. So I was happy to take that. He could bring us back from break and I would have the content ready to go. And I was actually do a prep page. When I was by myself, I would write an email, have links in there, have audio in there, sometimes ready to go. I didn't do that when Johnny was there. Part of that was out of spite. But part of it was because it's only a 2-hour show. And when, you're kind of chit-chatting like we did and we got along really good, sometimes time would fly. So we do like extra long segment, usually up top. And then the middle part was kind of what's something would happen, meltdowns or phone calls or something. And then we just had the last hour, which was just news, which was me. So, yeah, I didn't put as much effort into it. But when I'm by myself, I had to do a lot more stuff. And I know Johnny will have to do a lot more stuff now too, that he's by himself, looking up prep, pulling audio. So, damn, coughing again. I don't really know what else to say about it. I don't think I'm saying anything new here, groundbreaking, that hasn't been said already. I did hear, I got some messages about Johnny's show on Friday, people giving him crap, which that's going to happen. So, it's a shame it didn't work out, but I do wish him the best. And, I thank him for the opportunity. I'm sorry it didn't work out. I would say, keep a lookout. I don't know what's going to happen as far as my time at the Bone. I'm still there Saturdays right now, 10 a.m. for the weekly checkup show. And let's just see what happens in 2024. I don't have any information about that. I don't have any insight, but I think that from the people that I have talked to after this happened, that the door is not completely closed for me. So, well, this happens sometimes too. Sometimes it doesn't go away. Sometimes you got to move on. Sometimes you got to see what's on the other side. So, I'm not giving up on my radio dreams or anything. I'll be here too as well, obviously, particularly in 2024 if after the holidays, if I'm not somewhere else by then. But you can always catch me here. willsyoutube.com, hmbradio.com. I'll have content. I'll have, podcasts that I'll be putting out, maybe even 5 nights a week in 2024. But we'll see. Don't fret. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay for everybody. And again, Johnny's still my friend. A little mad at him right now, but that's okay. Friends get mad at each other. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but I feel like I'm talking in circles now. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Forrest Gump style. And follow me on social and keep up with me here. And like I said, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. willsyoutube.com. Click the bell. Get notified when we're live. And we'll talk soon. All right. See you later.